Good morning. I hope all of you are going really well today. Today I'm going to read from the book of 4th Baruch from the Ethiopian Bible. It's in the Old Testament of the Ethiopian Bible. I'm going to continue on reading that book. Today I'll read chapter 6 and chapter 7, and that'll finish the book of my reading of the book of Baruch. 4th Baruch, I should say. Chapter 6. And Jeremiah wrote a letter to Baruch, saying thus, My beloved son, do not be negligent in your prayers, beseeching God on our behalf, that he might direct our way until we come out of the jurisdiction of this lawless king. For you have been found righteous before God, and he did not let you come here, lest you see the affliction which has come upon the people at the hands of the Babylonians. For it is like a father with an only son, who is given over for punishment, and those who see his father and console him cover his face, lest he see how his son is being punished, and be even more ravaged by grief. For thus God took pity on you, and did not let you enter Babylon, lest you see the affliction of the people. For since we came here, grief has not left us for years today. For many times when I went out, I found some of the people hung up by King Nebuchadnezzar, crying and saying, Have mercy on us gods. When I heard this, I grieved and cried with twofold mourning. Not only because they were hung up, but because they were calling on a foreign god, saying, Have mercy on us. But I remembered days of festivity which we celebrated in Jerusalem before our captivity, and when I remembered, I groaned and returned to my house wailing and weeping. Now then, pray in the place where you are, you and Abimelech, for this people, that they may listen to my voice and to the decrees of my mouth, so that we may depart from here. For I tell you that the entire time that we have spent here, they have kept us in subjection, saying, and we reply to them, How shall we sing for you, since we are in a foreign land? And after this Jeremiah tied the letter to the eagle's neck, saying, Go in peace, and may the Lord watch over both of us. And the eagle took flight and came to Jerusalem, and gave the letter to Baruch. And when he had untied it, he read it and kissed it and wept when he heard about the distresses and afflictions of the people. But Jeremiah took the figs and distributed them to the sick among the people, and he kept teaching them to abstain from the pollutions of the Gentiles of Babylon. And the day came in which the Lord brought the people out of Babylon. And the Lord said to Jeremiah, Rise up, you and the people, and come to the Jordan, and say to the people, Let anyone who desires the Lord forsake the works of Babylon. As for the men who took wives from them, and the women who took husbands from them, those who listen to you shall cross over, and you take them into Jerusalem. But those who do not listen to you, do not lead them there. And Jeremiah spoke these words to the people, and they arose and came to the Jordan to cross over, as he told them the words that the Lord had spoken to him. Half of those who had taken spouses from them did not wish to listen to Jeremiah, but said to him, We will never forsake our wives, but we will bring them back with us into our city. So they crossed the Jordan and came to Jerusalem. And Jeremiah and Baruch and Abimelech stood up and said, No man joined with Babylonians shall enter this city. And they said to one another, Let us arise and return to Babylon, to our place. And they departed. But while they were coming to Babylon, the Babylonians came out to meet them, saying, You shall not enter our city, for you hated us, and you left us secretly, therefore you cannot come with us. For we have taken a solemn oath, together in the name of our God, to receive neither you nor your children, since you left us secretly. And when they heard this, they returned and came to a desert place some distance from Jerusalem, and built a city for themselves, and named it Samaria. And Jeremiah sent to them, saying, Repent, for the angel of righteousness is coming, and will lead you to your exalted place. Chapter 7. Now those who were with Jeremiah were rejoicing and offering sacrifices on behalf of the people for 9 days. But on the 10th, Jeremiah alone offered sacrifice, and he prayed a prayer, saying, Holy, 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 fragrant aroma of the living trees, true light that enlightens me, until I ascend to you for your mercy. I beg you for the sweet voice of the two seraphim. I beg for another fragrant aroma, and may Michael, archangel of righteousness, who opens the gates to the righteous, be my guardian, until he causes the righteous to enter. I beg you, Almighty Lord of all creation, unbegotten and incomprehensible, in whom all judgment was hidden before these things came into existence. When Jeremiah had said this, and while he was standing in the altar area with Baruch and Abimelech, he became as one whose soul had departed, and Baruch and Abimelech were weeping and crying out in a loud voice, Woe to us, for our father Jeremiah has left us. The priest of God has departed. And all the people heard their weeping, and they all ran to them, and saw Jeremiah lying on the ground as if dead. And they tore their garments, and put dust on their heads, and wept bitterly. And after this they prepared to bury him. And behold, there came a voice, saying, Do not bury the one who yet lives, for his soul is returning to his body. And when they heard the voice, they did not bury him, but stayed around his tabernacle for 3 days, saying, When will he arise? And after 3 days his soul came back into his body, and he raised his voice in the midst of them all, and said, Glorify God with one voice. All of you glorify God, and the Son of God who awakens us, Messiah Jesus, the light of all the ages, the inextinguishable lamp, the life of faith. But after these times there shall be years more, and he comes to earth. And the tree of life planted in the midst of paradise will cause all the unfruitful trees to bear fruit, and will grow and sprout forth. And the trees that had sprouted and become haughty, and said, We have supplied our power to the air, he will cause them to wither with the grandeur of their branches, and he will cause them to be judged, that firmly rooted tree. And what is crimson will become white as wool, the snow will be blackened, the sweet waters will become salty, and the salty sweet in the intense light of the joy of God. And he will bless the isles so that they become fruitful by the word of the mouth of his Messiah. For he shall come, and he will go out and choose for himself 12 apostles, to proclaim the news among the nations. He whom I have seen adorned by his Father and coming into the world on the Mount of Olives, and he shall fill the hungry souls. When Jeremiah was saying this concerning the Son of God, that he is coming into the world, the people became very angry and said, This is a repetition of the words spoken by Isaiah, son of Amos, when he said, I saw God and the Son of God. Come then, and let us not kill him by the same sort of death with which we killed Isaiah, but let us stone him with stones. And Baruch and Abimelech were greatly grieved, because they wanted to hear in full the mysteries that he had seen. But Jeremiah said to them, Be silent and weep not, for they cannot kill me until I describe for you everything I saw. And he said to them, Bring a stone here to me. And he set it up and said, Light of the ages, make this stone to become like me in appearance, until I have described to Baruch and Abimelech everything I saw. Then the stone, by God's command, took on the appearance of Jeremiah, and they were stoning the stone, supposing that it was Jeremiah. But Jeremiah delivered to Baruch and to Abimelech all the mysteries he had seen, and forthwith he stood in the midst of the people, desiring to complete his ministry. Then the stone cried out, saying, O foolish children of Israel, why do you stone me, supposing that I am Jeremiah? Behold, Jeremiah is standing in your midst. And when they saw him, immediately they rushed upon him with many stones, and his ministry was fulfilled. And when Baruch and Abimelech came, they buried him, and taking the stone, they placed it on his tomb, and described it thus, This is the stone that was the ally of Jeremiah. Yeah, so that concludes my reading from the book of 4th Baruch. And so just that completes the reading of the book of Baruch, and I hope all of you have a blessed day. Next time I'm going to read, it's going to be another book from the Ethiopian Bible, 1 week from after the publishing of this video. So yeah, God bless each and every one of you, and I hope all of you have a really blessed day. God bless you.